All right, so we're on Facebook Live and we're on the conference call. So I'm not sure who's on what, but I see a lot of people that are tuning in. So I wanted to say thank you. This is our blueprint for 2018 weekly conference call that we do. Today, our guest is Devine Evans.
Hey,
put your phone on mute.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have Devine Evans on the phone. He is a 5-time Grammy Award winner, and he does multiple Grammy events. We've done multiple Grammy events together. He's worked with endless people, which he'll tell you about soon. But so I'm going to introduce him, but I'm going to do my intro, and then we'll get started with the call. I see a lot of people tuning in. I want to say thank you. So today I wanted to go over, because we have so many people that have dreams and ambitions and goals for 2018, and they just don't know where to start. And a lot of people, I hear this all the time, a lot of people are waiting on investors, or they're waiting on someone to invest their dream. So sometimes you have to position yourself to, if an investor never comes, or if you don't get the resources that you need from an investor, that you have to position yourself to fund your own dream and to do your own shows and to do your own events. So I want Devine and I are going to talk about how you can position yourself to do that. He's worked with endless people in the industry, so he'll tell you what a proper team should consist of. And all the time, if you're in the entertainment industry, or if you have a vision, you might not have a team. You might not have a publicist. You might not have interns. You might not have people to help you. Sometimes you just have to work with what you have, until they see the vision, because most people won't work with you until they see a vision or until they're able to get something out of it in return. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but my intro is that my name is Demont, and I am one of the administrators over the Millionaires Credit Club. We host this call. I see a lot of new people on here, and I'm very excited. We host this call every week just to be able to give you information and connections. Last week we had Omar, which is a good friend, and he has one of the largest tax firms in the Midwest, and he went over a lot of tax information that was helpful to even myself, because I didn't know. So this week we're talking about the entertainment industry, and not just exclusively the entertainment industry, but more or less, how do you fulfill your dreams? How do you fulfill the creative aspect of your business? How do you fund it? How do you fund what's in your head? So I want to introduce Devine, which is, like I said, one of my very good friends. He's worked with Chainsmokers, Janet Jackson, Rihanna, Pharrell, Lady Gaga, Bruno. He's done endless events. We've done Diddy. We've done Paris Hilton. We've done a lot of different things in L.A., and we want to be able to share with you the information that you need for 2018, so that if you are a singer, or if you are a musician, or if you are a writer, or whatever you might dream of doing. I know I have a lot of playwriters that inbox me and that are in my credit club as well, and I want you to get this in your head, that if you position yourself to get your credit together, you can line yourself up to funding your dreams. It takes a lot of work, but it's going to take money. So my analogy is, if I didn't have any money, but I had credit, we went and we booked Diddy. So just say Diddy was $50,000, and I'm a singer, or I'm a rapper, or I'm a writer, or I'm a producer, whatever I am. I'm trying to get my name out there, and I'm trying to connect with people. So my blueprint for the entertainment industry is to get your credit together, do your own events, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, position yourself to be in the circle with Diddy, or to be in the circle with big producers, because or Chris Brown, we've worked with all of them. So, or Chainsmokers, or Janet Jackson, any of the people Devine's worked with. If you got money, you can book any of them. So if you have a line of credit, so you're using the bank's money to produce your events, whatever you do, whether it's event production, whether it's a promoter, whatever you're trying to do, if you have the money to book those people, now you're introducing yourself to their following. So say, for instance, when Devine and I booked, Diddy, and I'm going to let him talk in just a second. I'm going to let him have as much time as he needs. But when Devine and I booked Diddy, we were connected with Diddy's social media team. So Diddy's social media team, because we paid Diddy, now Diddy's social media team, we were able to send them what we wanted them to post to Diddy's millions of followers on social media because we paid Diddy and because we were doing an event and we had Diddy hosting it. So now because we paid Diddy, we're introduced to all the millions of followers that he has because we paid him, you know. So now when Diddy comes, we had endless celebrities there. We had endless people there. And because all these people came, now we have access to them on the red carpet for interviews. We have access to them so that we can build our portfolio so that we can introduce this previous event to future sponsors. So now if I was a singer or if I was a rapper, because I booked Diddy, I would have opened up for Diddy, and I would have surrounded my marketing plan around Diddy's brand. So now people think that I'm associated with Diddy because now I'm on his social media, and now we're taking pictures together, and now we're at the event together. So now I'm opening myself up to his demographic and his following, his fan base, and I didn't have a fan base. So, but you have to have money, and you have to be willing to produce your own events and your own concerts and your own tours. And I don't suggest anybody just get out there and produce their own event without having a mentor or a coach to help them, someone that has done a large production of that magnitude, or you're going to lose a lot of money. So that's my intro. That's my vision for all of you that have visions and all of you that have dreams, all of you that contact me daily and want to get into the entertainment industry or want to get your book. I have people that follow me that have books and they have movie ideas. I just helped somebody get funding for $500,000 in funding for a movie deal that he had to come to the table with that he's doing with Universal. They were going to back it, but he had to have a portion of it, which he used as credit. So you have to, whatever is in your mind, I want you to know if you can dream it, it can happen, but you still have to do the work to make it happen. So I've asked a lot of my friends in the entertainment industry, a lot of my friends in the financial industry, a lot of my friends in the industry period to just join me on this call. Devine gets paid big money to tour with people. He gets paid big money in the studio to work with people. So I just want to say thank you to Devine for taking your time out to talk to the hundreds of people that tune in every week just so that they can, and we have thousands of people that tune in on Facebook Live, and I just want to say thank you, Devine, for tuning in just to be able to talk and share with people.
Of course.
Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, of course.
All right. So I just want you. I know we've done quite a few events together. You pretty much you've been all over the world with just about every artist anybody could ever dream of. You're working on one of the shows on TV now that we all love and watch. And I just want you to share with people how they should, if they did use the blueprint that I just said. So say they are a writer, or they are a producer, or they are a singer, or they are a rapper, or they are a film writer, whatever type of creative aspect that they have, how do they position themselves to get with these people or to use these large artists' fan base so that they can build a name for themselves? How do they do that if they have a budget? So just say they go through my program, or just say they don't go through my program. Say that they get their credit together and they get a line of credit for $100,000. I want you to just kind of walk them through like what they should do to build the branding and an event to be able to maximize that money that they get?
Well, I mean, I guess like to answer like all of the questions, I mean, the first thing you need to do when you get that level of money and you're ready to do that level of event is just like Devine said, you got to partner with someone who has the relationships and the experience to avoid making a lot of mistakes, because there's a lot of microscopic detail that gets overlooked whenever you're doing these large level events. So you for sure want to, you know, find somebody that's trustworthy, somebody that, you know, you can do business with, and you know that your money is going to be safe, and you know that your reputation is going to be safe more than anything, because, you know, that's the most important thing in this industry is your reputation. Also, you know, I'd like to, just while it's on my mind, whenever you do get into this part of the game, whenever you're trying to get into doing large level events or anything big level in music, make sure whoever you partner with are people that you are willing to win and willing to lose with, because all of us that are experienced know all the stuff we know, because we have had moments where we won and we've had moments where we've lost. So the people that you're in relationships with, you have to be willing to lose with them. And a lot of people may not want to hear that, but that's the best advice I could give you, because as long as you can go in with a clear mind, a clear head, and you can know, like, you know, this could be the greatest opportunity of my life, or this could be like the greatest learning experience of my life. Either way it goes, you can still have a killer team that, you know, you can always like do business with. And you take the wins and you celebrate, and you take the losses and you study and you learn from them. And that's what's going to make you become like the next moguls of the future in this industry. So that's like the best advice I can give when it comes to the money side of it. Did I answer that pretty clear? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you go ahead into whatever you want to share. We'll have questions in a few minutes.
Okay.
If a person, I'll say this, I know we got a lot of different channels that we're streaming off of. So if you have a question for Devine or myself regarding where you need to start or how to start or who you need to have, I want to talk about next, who they need to have on their team. So what types of people do they need to have? You can text me questions. So 213-713-4154, 213-713-4154. Text me questions throughout the call, and we both will answer them.
Yeah. Well, I guess to expand on that, with the type of people that you need on your team, you know, the first person you need is the person who has the relationships inside the industry to bring the artists, the DJs, all of the big names to the table that you may want to book, that you may want to be affiliated with. You need somebody that has like a relationship so that you could avoid getting, you know, the agent quote. And the agent quote is always like astronomical from what the real price could be. But if you don't have the relationship, then you're going to get that, you know, that just testing you out, see how far you'll go quote, you know, where somebody will be like, yeah, we'll do it for $1 million, but you could have got it for $150,000 if you had the relationship. So you need to have somebody that on your team that has the inside connection. And then the next thing you need is you need a person who knows the city and that the city respects. You know, when we do stuff here in Los Angeles, we've always been pretty, you know, successful at all of our events because we knew how to bring the city out. You know, we knew how to entice the city to come, you know, where we have a venue that'll hold 1,500 people and we have 2,500 people outside that couldn't get in. And the reason that we could always do that is because we knew like the city, and we knew what they respected and who they respected. So we knew not only to invite the celebrity that we booked, but we also knew to invite like strategic people throughout the community that we knew them being affiliated would also bring in additional people. So if you bring a high-profile radio DJ or a high-profile, you know, TV personality or whatever, that one person, you know, if you like give them like love and say, hey, we're going to give you like a table, we're going to give you a bottle, and, you know, and we're going to give you a flyer, and you have that person who has a huge following, have them promote your event, then now you're going to get, at least 100 to 200 people that would come just because they're going to be there. So you're getting you're giving them free bottles and all this other stuff for a couple $100 that you got to spend to do that, to entertain them. But you're getting, 200 or 300 people at the door that are coming for them. So you need somebody that has the relationships to the city to bring them out. And then the next thing you need is somebody that specializes in marketing and branding strategies and visual components, on how to properly build the visual appeal online and in the streets and or on radio, whatever advertising is effective in the area that you're in. You need to make sure that you have that kind of person on your team so that you guys can, really blow people away and make people believe that the event you're doing is going to be the largest thing ever. And you can't do that just by word of mouth. Sometimes you got to have word of mouth in addition to high profile visuals and marketing strategies, whether it's you combine radio, you combine TV, you combine, social media and the internet. Sometimes you only need one. Sometimes you need all of them. You just have to be, mindful and have a person on your team who's very, very respectful and in touch with what means of advertisement and marketing works effective in your area. So that's the kind of people that I could think of. I'm sure there's a lot more, a good PR is good,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You need a good PR person.
Yeah, good PR. And then, of course, you need your worker bees, and they're the people that are going to be the people who handle all of your guests and make sure that your door is organized, making sure that nobody's waiting in line for 2 or 3 hours outside getting mad at you. You need people to manage your guest list. Liaisons just for talent and escorts and, just all those other things to make sure that people have not only a good time while they're there, but they're treated very, very respectfully. And that way, when people leave your event, they leave with a really good taste in their mouth and they'll be a lot more responsive and willing to attend your future events because you killed it, and you took care of them while they were there. So that's the main core of people that I would say. I guess I can give an example. I know the last event me and Devine did together, I know I had at least 10 people that were at the door just dealing with guests, answering questions, directing people, taking people's coats, taking tickets, double checking the guest list, just different forms of accommodation, finding out who needs bottle service, who didn't, and you'd be surprised how many people in your city that are aspiring to learn about event production would be willing to do internships for you. And, you could reach out to the schools in your community and get interns to help you with that worker bee position, and that way you have a nice staff and keep them uniform, keep them dressed nice, make it clear and transparent who's with you and who's not. All those things go very far in the event production world. So that's the main stuff I could think of, Devine.
All right. I still, even, because I know we might have some people that might not, because event production is not for everybody. So it's not for everybody. You have to have a lot of patience, and you have to be connected with people that are connected. So that's just one of the ideas that I share with people. If you want to be in the position of event production, it opens you up to a lot of fans, and it opens you up to a lot of relationships, and it opens you up to a lot of resources. I wouldn't know 80% of the people that I know in the industry if it wasn't for us doing events, so that opened me up to a lot of the relationships that I have right now in the entertainment industry and in the music industry and in the movie industry because we did events. So, if that's what you're trying to do, I just don't want you to feel like that you have a limit because you can't fund it. I want you to know that if you associate yourself with people that are big, then the people that are big, the stuff that they're connected to, it introduces you to that as well. But it's going to take money. So somebody has a question. Anita, her daughter Star is a rapper, and she wants to know, Devine, if it's beneficial to pay a known artist for a feature.
It's only beneficial if the known artist believes in the project enough to promote it themselves. Otherwise, it doesn't really go far. I have a lot of friends who've tried that approach, where they've booked artists that are popping in the industry. They got a big following, big records on the radio, but if they say yes just to get the check you're offering them, but they're unwilling to do any promotions in addition to your own promotional campaign, the songs never really take off. They never really go anywhere. Like if they're not willing to put the song on their social media sites and just announce it publicly that they did the song, then it kind of dies. Wherever your money runs out, that's where the song kind of dies. You will have a larger group of people that find the song, but I can say firsthand, I know at least 30 or 40 people that have done this same thing, and it never really transitioned into any higher level of success for them. So to answer your question, Anita, it needs to be somebody that believes in the project, not just somebody that's just getting the money. Which that's a good question, because a lot of people do think that that's going to open the doors up for them. For their fan base. Now, because the key to remember is like, okay, say an artist like Future. I had an artist from South Africa who was wanting to do a song with Future, and Future agreed to do the song for $100,000. He was going to do a verse for $100,000, but in order for Future to do the video, that would be an additional $100,000. And then if you wanted to get him to do any promotional stuff, because he's already only saying yes because of the money, not because of who the artist is, then that would, be something that you probably would have had to, come in your pockets even deeper to get him to, like, actively promote it. So just getting him on a song isn't going to do much, especially these days. These days everything's so visual. You actually need, like, some real footage, of him being a part of the song. You need footage of him being on, in the studio recording it, which a lot of times they won't. They'll be like in some obscure part of Earth recording, and they won't film it. They won't do anything. So you need that social media push. You need him to be on his Instagram story in the studio with you, talking about the song and, drawing people to your page, because that's what you're doing it for. Whenever you're famous, it works very well because you already have your market. But whenever you're trying to get there, if you don't have the market, if you don't have the audience, then it doesn't really, work as well. So if you got millions, then you can make the world move. But if you don't have just a bottomless pit of money to throw into that, it could be a risk. You could actually get more accomplished if you took $50,000 and properly did like a major promotional campaign than you could by getting, an artist like Future on your record. So that's how I would spend my money.
I see I have a couple of my mentees on here, and they own shoe companies, shoe platforms, clothing lines, clothing websites. One of the guys owns a new tequila company. I see a DJ on here. I see a lot of different an assortment of people. And what I brought Devine on here for us to be able to inspire you is that, just say that you do have a brand, or you are a brand. When you get a budget so that you're able to connect with people that have huge followings, you're introduced to their following. So just say, for instance, I own the tequila company. Instead of me going to pay a brand ambassador, I would probably do some events and have some celebrities host the events to where their following would come, and now I can introduce myself to their fan base. Okay, so and if I pay them, a lot of times they'll endorse it, or they'll depending on if they're connected with other brands. It just really depends. But sometimes they'll take pictures with you, or they'll take a picture with a shirt, or with the bottle, and so now you have promotional, fuel. So you have to open your mind up to where, okay, I might not have the budget now, but how do I position myself to get it so that I can go to larger markets to network and to be a part of larger events or larger campaigns or larger festivals or whatever the case may be. So, even with a budget, my question, this is my question, D. Like, if we are talking about an artist or a singer or someone that is a performer, do you recommend that they pay would you recommend that they pay to be like on the stage at a big festival? So just say like a South by Southwest or something like that. Would that be a good investment?
South by Southwest, I've done many, many, many events and shows at South by Southwest. If you can get on the official stages, then yes, it is smart to invest into those stages because the people in the audience are going to be the kind of people that can create many major opportunities for you, because they're just like a different breed of business minds and stuff in that audience. So yeah, a lot of the unofficial stages, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on just doing a bunch of those. I mean, every now and then a few small ones are cool just to say you did it for your social media audience. But if you were going to do like a real investment into South by Southwest to get on the official stages, I definitely think it could be worth it. So yeah, that would be a smart move if you had the ability. Yeah, the smaller stages though, like those right there on social media to make it look like you're doing something cool. But at the end of the day, it's there may be only 50 people in the room, 100 people in the room or whatever, but on social media, 100 people in the room could look like 1,000 if it's filmed right. So that right there could be valuable as well.
So Bridget has a question. She actually is a writer, and she writes. She has a couple of plays that she has written, and some productions that she's done. I think one of her plays did really well. Maybe more, just one that I know of. So she wants to know what's a good way to get your projects in front of the right people.
For film or for plays or for music or which?
Well, she does. I think she writes more. She'll have to tell me. Bridget, text me 213-713-4154 if you have any questions. But I know for a fact that she's written a play because she sent it to me and I watched it. So I know that she is a writer. And so she's trying to get her work in front of people, and what would be the best way for her to pitch just say she has a TV show idea or a movie idea or a play idea. What is the best way for her to get them in front of the right people?
Yeah. Well, I'd say this. I mean, there's definitely several phases of that mission. The first thing I would do is I would affiliate myself with as many people as possible that have the same vision, dream, and goal. They don't necessarily need to be writers, but they do need to be somebody who's interested in transitioning into the film industry, because I'm assuming that's what Bridget's long-term goal would be. If she wanted to transition into the film industry, she should affiliate herself with like people who are passionate about cameras, people who are passionate about lighting, people who are passionate about directing, people who are passionate about acting. No matter what city you're in, there's always going to be a whole lot of people that have the same goal and dream as you. Take a meeting with all of those people and explain to all of them that we're about to commit to something that's going to take 6 months to a year, and none of us are going to get paid for it. We're all going to struggle. We're all going to suffer. It's going to be difficult. But if we can finish this 6 month to a year journey of completing this project, at the end of it, we're going to have something amazing that's worth doing. And once you get that project done, whether it's a short film, a long film, what do they call them, a pilot, whatever that is that you're aiming to achieve, if you can get a group of people that are on the come up to commit and build a team that grows together, that's what's going to be where your success story comes from. It's not going to be from just affiliating yourself with like, Shonda Rhimes or any of these people that are like super successful already. They're not really looking for you. And they just like people weren't looking for her whenever they found her. She created her own brands, her own product, and she moved, So I would suggest, starting there, and then once you get the project done, at that point, you gotta get into the film circuits, the Sundance, and there's a lot of big films festivals in Canada and stuff like that. Get into those circles and start to meet people that are higher up, but still are on their grind, still hustling, still trying to make moves, and then that just let that be part of your networking process. But then from there, it's good to know people like us, because I could easily, like, if there was a project that was like really, really far along and really good, I could easily take it to Queen Latifah, and Queen Latifah has, many outlets where she could, if something's the right thing, she can get it launched in several platforms, be it Hulu, Netflix, a major network, a really high-end cable network, like she has a lot of outlets for that. I've worked on many, of her films musically. I've done a lot of music for a lot of her film projects. And she's like family to me, so like I have a real relationship with her. So people like me who have relationships with people who do film production can easily take the right project there. But she's not going to be impressed with a piece of paper. She's the kind of person that you have to show action. You have to show that you made an effort, you invested time, resources, everything that it takes to put a real project. Because what's going to happen is I'd give her this project, and then 3 months later she's going to be sitting in her car driving somewhere, and she's going to have time to pull her laptop out and watch it. You know what I mean? That's how she operates. When I did my book, I wanted just a quote on the back of my book from her. I didn't want much at all, but it took her 9 months to respond that she read the book and finally give me a quote, as well as gave me an idea of me turning my book into a TV miniseries, which is something I'm working on now. But, patience, it doesn't always happen fast, but whenever that call comes, you got to be ready for it. So I would definitely say build a strong team and start there. And if your team is strong and if everybody's dedicated and focused and willing to sacrifice everything they have for that short period of time, and, the sky's the limit, and be hard on yourself and, like compare your project to the big projects that are out and make sure that everything you're doing can live up to the same level. Don't set your goals like, Avatar. Avatar cost $200 million, so I may not be able to do that with our small startup team, but find a project that's realistic for your goals, like, and whatever you're falling short on. If somebody's not doing effects good enough, then find somebody else to partner with that person. Teach that person. Don't throw them out if they're hard workers. Find resources to teach them, and all of you guys grow together and grow together. So that's what I would say.
And to piggyback off of what my brother said is that I think that we both can attest to that you have to be and he said this earlier, and I think it was profound, but you have to be willing to fail. So you have to be willing to fail. I'm not saying you get into it wanting to fail, but you have to know that if you fail, it's okay because you're going to recover. So you cannot keep waiting on someone. I deal with people in L.A. every day, but and people in L.A. think a little differently than other people because, it's always, you're always pitching yourself, you're always auditioning, you're always trying to sell yourself. So it's the same thing in business or in trying to pitch your ideas, is that if you pitch your idea to 1 million people and they all say no, you still have to be willing to do it some way or another, because that's why you're here, is to do it. So if your job is to tell stories, then that's what you got to do, even if it's on a small scale. And even if it's in a theater that holds 300 people, okay, Tyler Perry said the first several, he saved the whole year to do his plays, and many of them were not successful in the beginning. People didn't come. Okay, he accepted failure. He kept moving on, and now he is where he is. So you have to have the same mindset. You can't keep trying to figure out who you need to meet, because eventually, if you're grinding and you establish a name for yourself, and okay, you're building a brand, then eventually the people are going to come to you. So you have to position yourself that's the word. That's my word for 2018. I'm sorry, I say it all the time. But you have to position yourself to keep doing it, no matter if. And there are going to be some people that are that jump on because they think they can get something out of it. When you're building a team, everybody's not for you. Some people are for what you're for. So you have to be with, and everybody, if they're not making no money, a lot of people are not going to work for no money. So you have to be willing to do it no matter what. If nobody else shows up and you got to be the ticket taker and the promoter and pass out flyers, and this is your dream. You have to manifest it. So if this is what you want to do, you have to be willing to know that the right people will come at the right time. We've done countless events, and some were successful and some were not. Some people worked for free. Some people we had to pay. Sometimes we didn't make money. Sometimes we did make money. But you have to be willing to when you step out there and do whatever you're trying to do, you have to know that there are some things. But even the times we failed or we thought we failed, it still turned around to where we might have met some people, or we might have established a name, or we might have established a relationship with someone that helped us later on down the line. So there is a less everything, but I don't want people, if you don't get anything from this call, do not wait 20 years because you don't know who to pitch your idea to. Just do it. Just do it and pitch it to everybody that you come in contact with. Send the email to everybody. Make sure that it's packaged. Make sure that you go to events outside of your city and connect with people outside of your city. Social media is powerful nowadays, so you need to connect with people. And even if you don't have the money, you don't have the budget to do an event, do a small networking event. And then keep building, and videotape that small net. Like Devine said, you can have 10 people in the room, and it looks like you got thousands. Do what you can do with what you have. Build a campaign, and you might not have but 10 people in the room. Build a campaign on social media or a viewing event, or whatever. You just got to get people involved so that they know what's in your mind. Because if you're a writer, we don't know what's in your mind until you manifest it. So I want you. So and my suggestion, if you're a writer, find an up and coming videographer. Connect with them. Both of y'all trying to establish a name for yourself. They can edit. They can video. You can write. You can produce. So y'all come together, and now you're creating content for social media. And you're working with what you have with limited resources. And if the right person sees it, they're buying into your team because now we're able to see the vision. So I have people hitting us up. When we do events, I have people hitting us up from all over the United States, sometimes London, and they just want to be a part of the team because of what they see. So that's my piggyback off of what Dee just said.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I got.
But I think, bro, just to expand. I mean, I think that no matter, because I know there's people that do a lot of different things on this chat. I think that the main thing everybody should remember is this same success story can happen in any industry if you align yourself with the right people. But I would like to say, never forget to be business whenever you start to build this team. Like, every person who walks through the door to meet with you needs to be sign an NDA. They need to sign a non-disclosure, non-circumvent agreement with you. You guys need to have transparency on what your role is in the company or on the team. Everybody can't be owners. Everybody can't be leaders. Everybody can't, do the same thing. So you got to establish the rules on the business side of things too, because the one thing I would hate to hear is I meet one of you in person and you tell me oh man, everything you told me worked out great, but the writer that I affiliated myself with ended up suing me because of something stupid, just because you didn't have the right paperwork, or you fall out with one of the people and then they choose to go public and start trying to badmouth you and all this other crap just because they some people are really sensitive and they're not built for this industry. So those people, we can't always identify them at first, but they always show themselves. They always reveal whenever they're weak and they're not made for it. You know, you'll have people who invest $200 and, you know, things don't work out and they lose their $200, and that $200 is something that they're willing to go and, you know, on every platform and dog you out to death. You know what I mean? Like, so those people are, you know, they're going to show up in your life. They're going to show up in your business. And when they do, you need to make sure that you have paperwork in place already with those people from day one that prohibits them from, you know, becoming that thorn in your side that tries to like badmouth you as you try to move forward. They're trying to pull you down because they are, you know, that's the only way that they know how to thrive in this industry is to be spiteful and hateful. And I want you all to like be very mindful of being transparent and business minded as you start to build these teams, whether it's in music, film, you know, playwriting, any industry that you're pursuing. You know, get money, you know, follow the plans to get money, become your own investors, become your own source of success, but protect yourselves because everybody that you meet isn't going to have your you know, your best intentions at heart. They're going to be like a lot of savages out there. So, yeah, so that's like one of my biggest things I'd like to stress because I have made that mistake many times, and it comes back to haunt you. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because you trust people. You trust people with what you have, and you think that they have the same zeal for what you're doing that you do, and really they don't. You know, so you have to be transparent because everybody doesn't handle their business the same way, and some people don't handle business at all. So I've had that was a costly, and I've had people badmouth me, and I fed these people, and I cared for these people, and I brought these people, and I connected these people, and they badmouthed me because I wasn't transparent, and I just thought that they were for what I was for, but I wasn't transparent, and as a businessman I could say that I wasn't. Because I just thought that they were just part of the team, and I was just happy that somebody believed in what I was doing. But you do have to, I agree with you, like you have to have your paperwork in order. You have to be transparent, and you have to let them know, hey, this is what I need you to do. This is what I expect from you, and this is what I'm going to give, and this is what I'm able to give. And I might not have any money, or I might not be able to pay you, but this is what I plan on doing in the future. And you need to have it on paper. You need to have it on paper.
Yeah, and that plan, you know, the good thing about the plan is that it can evolve. You all can sit down and be like, hey, we went 1 year and things have improved dramatically, so I think it's time for us to revise our structure. But you got to have something in the beginning before it all starts because problems will show up. And I know now, like, you know, with my manager, like, she won't even let somebody come to my house without signing paperwork because I've had so many people that they come in my house, they see Grammys, they see plaques on my wall, they hear about what I'm doing, and they just have a different perception. They're not really even there for me. They're there because they think I'm one step closer to their success story, which could be true, but it isn't going to be true if you're an unloyal savage because those kind of people always reveal themselves because as soon as you're not doing enough for them, in their minds, they're going to show you their fangs. They're going to show you their true intentions. And it's happened to me so many times, and I think that a big part of becoming successful is figuring out how to stay successful, and you can't succeed with those kind of people in your life. So I just want to make sure everybody, you know, finds a way to, like, you know, protect yourselves out there as you start to, you know, improve your credit score and you start to, like, bring in, you know, money where you don't, you know, you become the investor. You know, just be cautious about the kind of people you have around you because everybody may not have the same passion because I'm like Devine, man. We're both passionate people, very passionate about what we do. And a lot of times it's easy to take advantage of people like us. So we more than anyone have to be cautious because we have this belief in our head that because we love music and we love entertainment so much, we assume that everybody we meet that says they love it loves it as deep as we do. And a lot of times they don't. A lot of times they love the lights, the cameras, the action, but they don't want the work, you know. And I could tell you, like, one of the things I like to tell people when I teach the classes or seminars is, like, you have to build a team that's willing to do what my team did with me. There was 1 year, the biggest year of my life for my team, we wrote and produced 1,900 songs in 1 year. And out of those 1,900 songs, only 3 of them came out. Now, what that means is I had people on my team that were willing to lose 1,897 times. They were willing to write 1,897 failure songs. But we did 3 that changed our life, you know. And that's the thing, you know, it's not like you sit down in the room and you write a film and you film it and it's the one that changes it for you. You may have to write 20 films, 50 films, 100 films, whatever business you're in, but you got to have people on your team that are willing to understand we're not going to be successful all the time. Nobody is, you know, and even you can use the iPhone as an example. Like, how many models and software updates have they had? Like, even though they created a great product, they're constantly having to update it because there's still things wrong with it. So you still got to, you know, update your brand all the time to improve on your, you know, your failures and your where you fall short, you know. So just keep that in mind. That's all I got to say about that.
I think that was good. So we have exactly 10 minutes left on this call. If anyone has any questions, please text me right now, 213-713-4154, or if you're on Facebook, put a question down in the comments so that I can make sure that we answer your question. I want to say thank you to Devine. I know you're very busy. He's working on the show, The Four, right now. That's The Four. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, The Four, with Diddy. It comes on Fox. And he's working on that right now, among other things. So for him to take this out of his schedule to do this is very I'm very thankful for. I'm very grateful for, because people don't have to be nice, and people don't have to share their time or their knowledge or their experience or their failures with us. You know, so I just want to say thank you to him in advance, and I want to say thank you to all the people that have tuned in on whatever platform, whether it's the conference call live, whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's the Millionaires Credit Club Facebook Live, whatever the case may be. We're dedicated to giving you and connecting you with people all year long, so that you can no longer say that you're not successful because you didn't know, or you're not successful because nobody taught you, or you're not successful because nobody believed in you, or you're not successful because you didn't have the resources. I don't want you to ever use that excuse again, so I want you to be able to have the relationships and the content, the relationships and the connections that you need in order to put your plan together. And once you put your plan together, then it's not going to be easy, but at least you have your plan. And the money's not going to come fast, but at least you have your plan, and you know what needs to happen, and you know who you need to connect with, and you know who you need to, you know what type of things you need to put in position. All right, so somebody wants to talk about sources of income. This call is not for sources of income. We'll talk about sources of income next week. We touched on a little bit of it 2 weeks ago. We went into my goal for you, since the person that asked is in my credit club. So my goal for you is to have at least 3 streams of income by the end of 2018. Right now you have 1, which is your job. The goal is to have 3. So I'll work with you on streams of income. This call is more or less about branding and how to take your vision to the next level, who you need to connect with, and those types of things. Why you didn't send me the question? I've got a lot of questions in here, so you might just have to send me the questions. I see it. Tashira, she says she's a singer, rapper, songwriter. What can she do to get her name and craft recognized while she's working on her credit and budget? So the question is, if she doesn't have any money, she's working on her plan, what can she do as a singer, rapper, and songwriter in the meanwhile?
Well, in the meanwhile, I would honestly say that don't make the mistake that you're trying to make, which is to start branding yourself, because you're going to run out of resources pretty quick. You need to, like, create a whole vision for your brand and come up with a marketing campaign and strategy so that once you start the process, you don't have to stop it. You don't have to spend endless amounts of money to do it. One thing that I even did for myself, you know, because my wife is an artist that we're about to launch, and I'm taking my own advice, so I'm not telling you to do something I wouldn't do myself. I went and bought, like, I think I spent like $300 or $400 on lights that were like photography lights and music video lights, so we could do like all of our own photography in house to keep her visual components, you know, on point. That eliminates the need to constantly spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on photo shoots with professional photographers. We only do that for special occasions and stuff like that. So, you know, now we created our own ability to, like, maintain our marketing content. So one of the things I would say that everybody should do is to, like, not get the ball rolling before it's ready. You know, do a vision board. I mean, me and my wife and my daughter all on New Year's Eve sit down and we get hundreds of magazines and we create vision boards for ourselves, and we come up with, like, you know, dry erase boards with all kinds of song ideas and concepts, and we study the music that we're trying to, like, create. You know, we want to merge, like, Prince and Michael, and whatever we decide we want to do. Like, we want to do something that feels as good as this, but hits hard like blah blah blah. We come up with all of these different things, and then we go into creative mode to see how it works out for us to create it. Not putting anything out until we're ready, because once we get people's attention, you have to keep their attention. So that's the hard part about being in the music industry. If you put one song out, you got to be prepared to put two out. If you put two out, you got to be prepared to put three out. So you just want to be careful with when you start. So while getting your money together, your credit together, and everything else, get your business mind together so you understand exactly what you are as an artist, as a writer, as a singer, so that you're ready for, you know, the snowball effect that you're trying to create. Because you're not going to create that if you're, like, putting one dope picture out today and then it's 2 weeks later where you got a picture that's worth putting out again, or a video or whatever. Be cautious. So that way you can get people's attention, but keep it and keep blowing people away. But most importantly, during this time while you're developing your content for your brand and your goals for your brand, study music, practice writing different types of genres. Like, if you're a singer, practice writing rap songs. If you're a rapper, practice writing, you know, jazz songs. Like, change up your mindset so that you could expand your creative abilities and that you could learn how to create beyond what your current limitations are. It's something that I do every single day. You know, like right now, I have 3 songs in front of me with sheet music, just of all some Janet Jackson songs that they asked me to do remixes for, that we're going to put out on Friday. And I've never played this kind of music in my life, and I'm learning it now, and I'm like having a really good time learning it. But the reason why I'm able to learn it so easy is because I've studied so many other types of music that this isn't complicated. It's just different from my normal, you know. So the studying never stops. So keep making yourself, like, you know, an asset. Study music in different platforms so that you could be, when you walk into a session, you become the person who can do what no one else can. You could do everything, and that's what we all have to do. The reason why people hire me so often is because I can do anything in music, any style of music. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm never afraid of whatever opportunities come my way because I've studied for so long. So that's the most important part of branding for music, is to make sure that you're ready for the snowball effect that you're trying to create.
I think that's good. I mean, it speaks volumes that you're even on the call. So that means that you're ready to learn, or you've been, you know, putting yourself in line to learn new things. So the internet is free, like Dee said. Like, you have to just practice patience, and it's not gonna come overnight. But at least when you're learning all those genres of music, when you're learning, you know, how to market yourself, when you're studying other artists on the level where you want to be and studying how they market themselves and how they got to where they're at, then that time, I promise you, is going to save you a lot of money, a lot of grief, and a lot of headache whenever you do get ready to roll your brand out and whenever you do get ready to start doing your own thing. We got just a few more minutes. Someone is asking a question. They wanted to go a little bit more into the main roles within the initial team that they build for what they're going through, which I think that we went pretty in depth with it. It was a publicist. It was someone that understands marketing and branding. It was, you got to have people that are going to work day and night with you if you're talking about events or whatever you're talking about. When you're building the team, you just pretty much have to have people that believe in what you're doing, but make sure that you identify that at the beginning of the relationship, what their role is going to be and what your role is going to be and what the end goal is for the team.
Yeah.
So,
and also, man, make sure the people that are on your team are smarter than you.
Right.
You know, I know that may seem hurtful for some people, but they should be smarter than you. You want people that are, like, more intelligent. I know, like, Elon Musk said it best, like, I didn't go to Harvard, but I hired the people that did. You know, and that's like the goal that I always have. Like, I can't be in the room and be better than everybody at everything, because how am I going to get better? You know, and you know, you got to know your weaknesses. So if you suck at promotions, don't try to take that job. Find somebody who doesn't suck at it, and then leave them alone. Don't try to get in their way with your ideas and your vision, because apparently they've succeeded at it. You know, so find people that are better than you at everything you aren't good at, and then be the best at what you do. You know, but you know, this is your time to learn from them. You know, so eventually you could be amazing at promotions, but day one may not be the time for you to try to flex. You know, you want to kind of let the people that you bring on your team be better than you for the moment, learn from them without getting in their way.
I want to say that is a true statement. Many years ago, I met this lady. I was doing a tour for unsigned artists that I funded myself, and that's something that I wanted to do. And I lived in Indiana when I did it. And I met this lady in Canada, and she said, "Hey, I had this friend named Devine in L.A. that I want you to meet." And I went out to L.A. I had never been to L.A. before, and him and I met the first time we met was at the W Hotel in Hollywood, California. And he took the time out to meet with me. He didn't have to. He had a few Grammys at the time, and he was working with big people at the time. I was just a black boy from Indiana. So I didn't even live in L.A. at the time. So, you know, we vibed, and I ended up moving to L.A. after that. He was a big influence on my transition to L.A., and he supported me, and he brought me in. He connected me with the relationships that he had. I would never be in the entertainment industry if it was not for him. I would never, and I feel like he is smarter than me. And we're brothers. We've had some disagreements, but we've never had a falling out or argument or anything like that. And like I said, I would never be connected. I would never be managing. I would never, probably wouldn't be doing this, because what I do now is my passion, but it's connected to the industry. You know, that's what led me to do what I'm doing now is the entertainment industry. So I think that is a true statement, because it helps you to build your platform. It helps you to stay in line with who you are. So the people that are in my circle, when I look at Devine and the other people that are in my circle, I think that they all are smarter than me. And sometimes I've seen some people, I'm not going to say their names, but some people that we work with in the entertainment industry, and I look at their careers, and their careers could be a lot further, but when I look at their team is comprised of people that always condone the things that they do and people that they're smarter than. So, you know, I think that when you do surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, it helps you to elevate to a higher dimension than you would ever elevate before, because I would never be where I am, and I would never have the connections that I have if it wasn't for him. So I think that that was to me, that was the highlight of the call. Like, you have to, if you don't leave here,
I can say this.
With nothing else, huh?
I can say this though. The thing that they need to know and understand is that meeting that we had at the W Hotel was about 10 years ago. It may have been more, it may have been a year or two less. I don't remember, but it's close to 10 years ago. And the thing that's magic about that and the way you feel, I feel when I met you, I saw like the passion in your eyes about everything you were trying to do, and I've seen you one thing at a time achieve it all. I've seen you fail, I've seen you win, and we became best friends. You were the best man at my wedding, and the reason why we're here today is because we understand what it takes to like truly be successful. To truly be successful requires the willingness to fail and still go out for a drink afterwards. You know what I mean? And that's what me and Devine have, and I think that all of you should find that kind of relationship in the people that you bond with. You know, we're gonna win some more together, we're gonna lose some more together, but at the end of it all, like, you know, we'll be in each other's lives till it's over. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I hope everybody can know that part of the story.
Right, and I hope that everybody can find somebody, and when you have somebody or a team, appreciate them and don't and appreciate that they're buying into you and your vision, and appreciate that if you don't have a team and it's just you're just a one-man show, just know that somebody somewhere is going to believe in you, and you cannot give up. You just got to keep working at it. You got to keep working at it, and the right people will come at the right time, but you got to keep working at it. You can't stop. So we're at the end of the hour. I haven't gotten any more questions. So Devine is in the Facebook live chat. So if you have any questions, make sure that you send him. Or I know a lot of people from the entertainment industry are people that have aspirations. He's a very, very, very accessible person. So if you have any questions about producing or music or film or event production, whatever the case may be, just reach out to him on social media and he'll respond to you. He's Devine Evans, Devine Evans, on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter, and it's DevineEvans.com is his website. Check it out. He has an amazing website. It has everything that he's done on his website. So just make sure that you support him as well. And it's like he said, like, if you never know. They say just, I think when we was younger, we was just a few people from knowing everybody in the world. But now I think we're really close. If you're like just a few people from knowing everybody, you know. So you never know who you might need later on or who you can get advice from. And both of us are very open to sharing what we know and to sharing our failures with anybody, you know. So we don't even charge for that. So I want to say thank you again to my brother for joining this call. I do it every week because I dedicated 2018 to making sure that I made sure that I gave people the resources that they needed for 2018. So it's not a solicitation for my credit club. I have a lot of members. I've gotten a lot of members that comes to me. I don't even have to promote. I've never spent a dime in marketing. I have over 1,000 members. So this call is not a solicitation for my credit club. My credit club does well. This is a platform where we can pull together our resources and we can get you information because information changes things, and knowledge is the new money. Y'all hear me say that all the time. So I just want to make sure that everybody gets their questions answered. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it down in the comments or send it to me on my inbox, and I'll make sure that you get an answer. Devine, you have anything to say before we end?
No, I'm just very grateful for everybody's time, you know, and like Devine said, you know, feel free to send me a message directly. I'll definitely do my best to respond to everyone. and you know, to be an open book to help people out with you know, the next phase of their careers and their growth. So yeah, I really appreciate this, man. It was a good time.
So once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Catch me back next week, same time, same place, same numbers, same Facebook, same text platform. People in my credit club, I'm proud of you. I see a lot of progress this month alone. This is going to be an amazing year for each one of you, and I want to say thank you for tuning in to the call because you are showing that you want to learn more. So I'm giving you those resources. So everybody have a good week, and I will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.